Okay, so because I'm going to be primarily teaching reggae, most of my videos are going to involve full bar chords. And when I'm teaching songs, in every video I can't sit there and be like, alright, the D chord is these 5 notes, and then list them off and take 30 seconds explaining each chord, because they're all the same. So what I'm going to do is this video, where I just break down the 2, or I guess 3 basic structures of bar chords, because they're actually really simple, but I think a lot of people coming from rock and stuff are used to like just the first 3 notes of a power chord, and a lot of people aren't even aware that there's a second half. So I'll start with chords rooted on the E string. It's all 6 strings, and it's your basic power chord as the first half. So just taking the A as an example, you have the 5th fret E, and then 7th fret of the A and D, 6th fret G, and then with this part of your pointer finger, you press down the 5th fret of the E and B. And don't worry if it's not making a lot of sound, if you're accidentally muting something. Just work on forming that shape and keeping your finger pressed down into these strings. And I think something that helps is keep your middle finger kind of like coming onto the top of the D string. That way you won't be muting the B. But other than that, I would say just focus on pressing down with your index finger, and eventually you'll get used to it. So what's great about bar chords is that shape can be used anywhere. So an A, if someone says, oh, you're going to play an A bar chord, and then go down to a G. The G chord it's not like those 2 shapes, those aren't related at all. But this shape, if you want to play a G bar chord, you just move it down a step. So you have the same exact shape, but it's rooted on the 3rd fret of the E. And if you don't know what root means, every chord has root notes. All those notes are A notes. So someone says it's rooted on the 5th fret of the E. That's the first note. The one up here, that's always a root note, and that's the main one. Then there's that one, and then the D string, 2 frets up from the first note. But that only really matters once you start soloing. But for now, when someone says it's rooted on this fret, that just means that's like where the chord starts. So then a G chord would be down here. B. It's all the same shape. So you can just use that one shape and just stay on basically one string, like in terms of roots, and you can do a lot with it. Now the next one is power chords rooted on the A string, or bar chords. So I'll take D as an example. 5th fret A, and then 7th fret D, G, and B. And don't worry, I'm going to address that in a second. But then the last note is 5th fret E, and that is played with the same part of your index finger. And I do this, I use the top of my index finger to mute the E string, because you don't want to accidentally play that. It just doesn't sound right. So about these 3 notes right here that are all on one fret, I actually know a few people who can't do that, and like I'm aware that's pretty common to squeeze your fingers in like that. That's what I do, because that's just how I learned, and that's how I learned it, so now I'm kind of stuck doing that. But I kind of like it because I can do stuff like that. But if that's not comfortable for you, you can use your I can't really do this, but people use their ring and pinky fingers to do those, like either one. They just kind of lay it flat. I'm not really sure how to do it because I've never learned that way, but if that's more comfortable for you, then go ahead and do it that way. But in terms of like notes, that's it. It's that your root note, then 2 frets up, and then the last fret is barred with your index finger on the same fret as the root. And if you want to know where the other roots are for those, it's the G string, 1 step up from that fret. So like the D chord, the roots of the D chord are on the 5th fret of the A, the 7th fret of the G, and then I think right there. I don't know. I don't really know where they are, but the one that matters right now is that one. So someone says you go from D to C, you just move that whole shape down. So that, I hope, simplifies it for a lot of you. So when I'm saying like, oh, you go from A to G and to B, it's the same chord. So I can't in every video say the A chord is these 6 strings, and then now the G chord is that same shape, and then it'll take like 20 minutes to get through every chord in every single video. So that's the shapes of those chords, and next video I'm going to talk about muting techniques and like basic things like hitting these root notes before the rest of the chord. And then different ways of muting them. But for now I just want to talk about structure and shape. So I hope that helped, and if you have anything else you want me to teach, please leave it in the comments, and I'll see you next time.